we are building capacity to restore the people's mandates. And that's a task that must be done. So while we are sleeping in Usman Danfodio's estate, the grandfather or the great grandfather that said that he will ruthlessly prevent a change of power. He said that they will use the minorities of the North as a willing tool, and then the South as a conquered territory, and will never allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have a control over their future. This is a declaration that this man made on national TV. BBC was there with a huge microphone so that you guys, Nintike, will hear, you know. So this is him affirming to his slave masters that I will do the job and I will do it right. As a matter of fact, I will do it so right that even if you put microphone on me, I will make a national announcement and put it in their ears. That's how bold and committed these wicked agents are against our people. But if we take responsibility of our future and take our space like Nina's has proposed, Okwu Abugo, they will have to find their indigenous land and they don't have one. And that's where we're asking people, stop thinking. It's amazing to me how you guys go to church and you believe in God, you believe in miracle, you believe in things you have not seen. And then when we talk about this one thing that can give you freedom, the same people will say, oh, how is it? This is so impossible. How is it going to be done? But you've been praying with your Father Mbaka, praying with Father Ede, praying with Ndemwon and the Flefus and all kinds of stuff. And every time you wake up, your life is worse than what it was the year before. Why don't you try something new? Why don't we remove this dark connection of 1999 Constitution so that we can own our life abundantly? So today we are going to look at the People's Mandate. We are going to look at countdown to constitutional logjam and union reconfiguration. And we're going to look at how this could be a salvation for Ndibo and all the indigenous people for real at large. We are going to understand the next pathway to redemption. And we cannot end without looking at the 5-point proposition summary that we typically display on this show. And then the announcements, and of course, the wisdom of my ancestors. The wisdom of our ancestors. My children love this part of the program. They're beginning to share with their friends. Today, they like the one from last week, the pouring libation. So these are the things I'm even encouraging them now. I said, if you guys are doing anything, get that might go outside the apartment and give some to your ancestors so they can protect you. So we'll continue to teach our children. We'll continue to pass on this good news. Please continue to help us to click the like button as we go. Take the time and continue to share as well. You know what these people are doing. You know how it works. So I cannot even begin to lament over that one right now. So the People's Mandate. A mandate is an authorization, an authoritative command, or a formal order to act on behalf of someone or a people. Authority does not leave the owners or the giver of the authority, so it can be taken back from the receiver once there is a breach in terms and condition of such a transaction. So it's not written in stone. Therefore, the authority to take back of or preserve self does not leave an individual or a people. Even when a criminal or a bully, even when they try to take authority by brutal force or use of gun, that can only be temporary, because until the individual or the people regains or rebuild enough capacity to retrieve or restore their stolen mandate. So, and that's what we're going through now. We know that these renegades, like Brother Tony will call these people, they are there collecting money, siphoning our resources. Obiano is somewhere in Spring, Texas, having the time of his life, taking his ugly dog for a walk. And you guys are there scrambling. I heard that a bag of beans that was $16,000 naira last year now is 100,000 naira. A bag of beans. A bag of beans that people don't like to eat. Countdown to constitutional logjam, like I said, and union reconfiguration. Under the 1999 Constitution, Nigeria, as we know it, is not a democracy. Why? because union arrangement does not pass any of the three legs of test for democracy. And we are looking at government of the people, by the people, for the people. And why? Because the 1999 constitution was not made by the people of Nigeria. We saw the witness Eric Teniola of Nigerian Tribune testify on November 7th. So this is almost 10 years ago. And also on November 18th of 2023. It's like almost 10 years anniversary. He came to remind you guys once again. We know that it's not for the people, because those who wield power do not get to power by the vote and mandate of the people. They cannot, in other words, bypass the people. Those who wield power do not act for the benefit of the people. They don't care. These are what we call puppets, right? Western puppets that are collecting their own share. The British enterprise takes some, they give them some, tell you guys you have democracy, and they do all this mago every 4 years, and our life is going down and down, and everybody is just collecting the share, and nothing is used for the people. Why the church pray for you so that you don't die on a road that the government refused to build. You don't die of appendicitis that people are doing now and going home in 4 hours in America. You don't die of it because there's no hospital to take care of it. Under the 1999 Constitution, like we said, Nigeria is not a federation. That is the Nigerian Union as defined by Unitary Constitution of 1999, which hijacked the authority and mandate of these individual sovereign nations / kingdoms that were conquered through colonialism. 1999 Unitary Constitution only enriches the president, the governors, the legislators, I want to call them legislators, their aides, acquaintances, and family members. The union, as we know it, is not based on federal constitution, which is a union of individual constitution and charter of relationship from the constituent and component member nations. And from that, with that, we mean from top to down and not from, down to top and not from top to down. So the quasi-union is disputed on the grounds of the fraudulent foundation upon which the union is currently erected. And that is why Nigeria is in distress and is heading for a nosedive. That's the shock you guys are about to get. You thought what happened in 1969 will definitely repeat itself. Hunger, kwashiorkor. Our sisters are already complaining about it. When you don't have enough food to give to a growing child, the only thing left is for them to start having kwashiorkor symptoms. And we are number 6 oil producing country, and we have nothing to show for it.
And yeah, my sister, kwashiorkor has effects on the development of the brain of children.
It does. It does. So, that's why these people in their 60s and 50s now are acting all whack.
Exactly. So it's even the next generation. You're not only destroying this present generation, you're destroying the next generation. Let me add it there.
True. Yeah, thank you for adding that. You're destroying the next generation. And then for those of you borrowing money to continue to fund the criminality and dollar exchange rate, that is not the solution. That is not a solution. I was reading the Bloomberg business notice yesterday, and it was saying that Nigeria did not grow at all in the last quarter. I said, what are they going to grow from? Grow from fraud or from fake certificates or from criminal enterprise that is buying millions and millions of whatever they need for themselves, and nothing is being injected into the system.
Somebody put you into a mold and tied you in a cage, tied your hand and your leg and said, oh, you're not moving, you're not growing. Yeah, wow.
Hey, now, because remember they gave you democracy. Remember when France
demonstration of craze.
Yeah, Francis said, "Oh, you guys are destroying the democracy in Nigeria." Yeah. So we have democracy, my dear. Go ahead.
No,
Thank you.
continue. No. Finish. Have you finished on what you're doing? I just added what you know. Go
No,
ahead.
no, go ahead, sister. There's something that I'm trying to do on this computer
Oh,
right. It's about to go off.
okay. All right. So my sister said us about, my sister broke down the constitution to us that there's no democracy. The constitution, 1999 constitution, you can't have federation, you can't have democracy under it, period. And he broke down the democracy to us, what democracy is. And then, of course, he mentioned to us how, broke down why it's not a federation. When we say it's not a federation, there's a definition for federation, and you are busy borrowing money everywhere. I don't even know where he stopped. Yeah, okay, I can see where he stopped. So he said, this is why, because Nigeria is not a democracy and it's not a federation, because we have like micronations joined together. The only thing that will make that type of union viable is a true federation. But because you don't have that, it will not work.
Mm-mm.
So this is why Nigeria is in distress and headed towards serious collapse. Now, you're busy borrowing money, trying to fund your criminality. Dollar exchange is going up the roof, like my sister said. And instead of you to correct what is making that to happen, you're borrowing money to do some cosmetic changes. That will not solve any problem. You have the politicians and religious leaders who are resisting this peaceful change, this union reconfiguration or dissolution, because this where we are now is either you do this or you end up with this. At where we are now, the default setting where we are dissolved because the union has collapsed. But if you want something different, if you still want this union, then you must do union reconfiguration. Because if you don't do that, especially these politicians and religious leaders that are not allowing people to get this information, you will become first casualty for what
Yep.
is coming.
Yep.
Because the house is collapsing and you're there holding it and say, don't collapse or don't collapse. The force that is pushing the house to collapse is stronger than you holding it. Say don't collapse. Because you have refused to do the right thing. We told you that the foundation is wrong. We have to go back to the foundation. We have to bring it down and go back to the foundation so that we can begin to build there. But you say no because you are benefiting from the corruption. The force that will bring that thing down, this roof down, you will be the first casualty because it's going to fall on you. You that refuse to remove your head from where we are going, refuse to remove your head so that we'll fix it. You will use your head to carry it. You will be part of the collateral damages when this union dispute begin to resolve itself on the streets of Nigeria as the suffering of the people becomes unbearable and the threshold for this action is reached. You will be the one to be the collateral damage of what is it. You politicians and religious leaders that are not listening now, that we are telling you this is the solution. No, let's solve this thing peacefully, amicably. You will carry it with your head. When we get to this place that we get to, the only dividing line will be those that stood with the fraudulent constitution because they're benefiting from it, and those that stood against the 1999 constitution and are busy taking decisive action to end the chronic or long suffering of the masses. We told you that this 99 constitution is what is killing our people and destroying them. We need to change it. We need to remove it and put the one that people wrote by themselves. You say no, you must uphold it. You will be the first casualty. By the time what is coming will happen fully, you will be the first casualty. The target is to get a union arrangement designed to ensure that there is equal partnership in the country for all citizens, irrespective of their class, tribe, gender, or religion. That is Nina's target. That's the target of any well-meaning person. We don't want how our people are going through, what they're going through. So the target is to get a new renegotiated union, if there will be a union. And if that is not going to happen, let's dissolve it. Let it be to your tents, O Israel. Therefore, the peoples of Nigeria do not want your dummy restructuring. That thing, because we'll see some criminals gathering themselves, calling themselves, this say South and Middle Belt Union or group or whatever, forum or whatever. All these politicians, if you chase them from here, they will remove the first cloth. Remove. If you tell them, oh, this cloth you're wearing is a red, they will remove it. We are white. If you complain about white, they will remove it. We are black. You complain about black, they will remove it. We are blue. If you say blue is not good, they will remove it. We are yellow. Shifting from one continent, merely from one place to the other, going here, going there, going there. And we are saying that's not the solution. We must go and solve these union disputes. So your dummy restructuring is not what we are talking about, and it's not what the people are speaking about. Because restructuring that you're speaking about, your definition of restructuring is you take the one in front, put at the back, take the other one at the other side, put it here, put it here. But we are saying what is needed is to bring down the entire evil structure. Start building from down up, like my sister said. Constitution making is from down up, not from up down. If it's up down, you are imposing it on the people. So you cannot do this for the people. The people will do it by themselves in a very structured way. And they are building capacity and consensus to do it. The people are headed towards union renegotiation, union reconfiguration, and union reconstruction, or outright dissolution, which is the default setting where we are now.